Okay, we're now joined by Lars Ødeskaug. He's the Chief Operating Officer, Sevan Marine ASA. Good morning, Lars. How are you today?
Good morning. I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Doing good, thank you. Lars, we have seen your presentation. It was very interesting. I hope I get your thoughts about some of the things within the FPSO sector. Specifically, talking about the deep water drilling. As fields continue to get deeper, can you describe some of the key challenges that come with it?
Yeah, there's a lot of challenges as we go deeper. I guess the most sort of apparent challenge is that once it gets deep, you cannot get divers down there anymore. So you are dependent on anything that happens on the seabed. Has to be remotely operated and controlled from the surface, and that means that there has to be fairly advanced technologies developed, and a consequence of all that, of course, is that if something goes wrong down there, or there is a requirement for maintenance, which there will be, it all becomes complicated procedures and work to go through. So that in itself, of course, is a challenge by going deep. Now, several companies have developed excellent equipment, both for staying down there and doing what they're supposed to do, and also for maintenance and emergency preparedness. So I think there's been an outstanding development in technology related to the ultra-deep waters, both when it comes to drilling and producing the fields. What we in Sevan has focused on is with our units to stay sort of ahead of the game, both with respect to maintenance and initial investments. And when it really gets really deep, the flexible risers become a major cost element. So we've done quite a bit of work on steel catenary risers, and we have tailor-made our cylindrical hull shape to fit the steel catenary risers, and have done, like I said, a lot of development work for the Sevan cylindrical hull with steel catenary risers for deep waters.
What sort of interesting technologies or innovations do you see lately in the FPSO field, and in your opinion, how will it affect the industry?
Yeah, it's technology, and cost-efficient technology is typically what's driving the market. I think, I think one of the most dramatic results of technology is what we have seen in the US over the last few years onshore, where the US only a few years ago was supposed to become a large importer of natural gas in the form of LNG. And then the technology in terms of horizontal drilling and in terms of fracturing suddenly made it possible to develop the shale gas in the US, and from being a country in desperate need of natural gas to close the gap between the traditional production and the demand, the US within 2 to 3 years had gas reserves for another 100 years. So that shows you how technology dramatically can change a whole market. And I think we will see the same in offshore. We don't know exactly what it's going to be, but I think what we've seen is subsea production, and subsea developments have dramatically changed the offshore field and opened up new business prospects for a number of companies.
Now, one interesting technology that we are also seeing is the cylindrical hull FPSO. Can you tell us a little bit more about this?
Yes, the cylindrical hull FPSO, of course, is the Sevan technology, which was patented in 2010 and has been developed since. And the first unit, the Piranema, went into production offshore Brazil for Petrobras in 2007. And since then, there has been a number of additional cylindrical units built. And as we speak today, there are 10 units in various stages of production or construction. And with Dana Petroleum selecting over technology for the Western Isles development, that'll be unit number 11. So why are these units so popular? I think it's a combination of their very good motion characteristics, particularly in severe weather, and the fact that they are cylindrical. There is no bow or stern. There is just one bow all around. And the consequence of that is that we do not need a turret and we do not need a swivel. So we're sitting spread mood and we're moving better than any ship-shaped unit in the most severe weather, and the cost saving by not having the turret and the swivel is in the range of $150 million, and that is significant for any project.
Now, these are very good benefits that you mentioned. Many people will actually be curious, how does it compare to conventional design? What are the key advantages of cylindrical hull as compared to these conventional designs that we see in the market?
Yeah, like I mentioned, one key benefit is the cost saving in the order of 150. And if you also include savings in complexity and steel weight, you may be looking at somewhere between 150 and $200 million for a comparable ship-shaped FPSO. That is significant. The other significant advantage is the life of a cylindrical FPSO. Because of the way it's moving, its fatigue life typically is far in excess of a ship-shaped FPSO, and particularly, of course, if you compare it with a converted ship-shaped FPSO. We have well above 30 years of fatigue life, while a ship-shaped unit, you will look at something like 20-25 years, I think.
Now let's talk about the overall landscape of the industry. Looking ahead, how do you think the FPSO sector will evolve in the next couple of years?
Well, it's like we've seen here at the conference here in Singapore today, and I think like we see at most conferences that I attended, that the future looks brilliant for the next couple of years, and then there's a sharp drop-off. And it's been like that for as long as I can remember. And I think we will continue to see offshore development with FPSOs, and I think we'll see a lot of FPSO because of the inherent advantages of the FPSO. You can actually move them around and shift them from field to field. Sometimes the FPSO needs to be upgraded or changed significantly. Sometimes a smaller upgrade or change in the design only can be required, but they do give the owner and the operator a great flexibility as you can move them around. So I think that the future does look bright for FPSO owners and operators. The amazing thing is that with this bright future, a number of the FPSO operators are not making money these days. We see one project after the other having problems both with costs and schedule. So I think that's something that the business really need to look into. How can we produce these units on budget and on schedule and deliver them safely to the clients?
It's a positive future for FPSO. Do you think FLNG shares the same?
Yeah, FLNG, we've been talking about FLNG for, 15 years now? And it never seemed to happen until another Norwegian company, Flex LNG, some, 4 or 5 years ago, developed their solution and sort of moved that part of the business forward. They have yet to build their first FLNG, but I think they were very clever in that they moved the FLNG business into the next stage. And what we have seen now is that there have been two units ordered, the Shell Prelude project and the Malaysian project. And I believe that we will see a number of floating liquefaction plants in the future, but maybe different from a more traditional oil FPSO. I think the FLNG solutions requires companies with really deep pockets because they are large and complex. projects, and you really need to have a strong both technical and financial background to handle those projects properly.
Thank you so much for those insights, Lars Ødeskaug, Chief Operating Officer for Sevan Marine ASA. Have a great day ahead.
Thank you.